apologies for the delay.
No worries. We've got the Sri Lankan head coach Rumesh Ratanakye with us. We'll have questions in English first, and if there are any questions from our Sri Lankan friends, we'll have them later in Sinhalese. Wait.
Mr. Ratanakye, I would like to ask you that since you have arrived in Pakistan, generally the feedback has been very positive from your side, that you are very satisfied with the security. I just wanted to ask you that if this tour goes successfully, would it be easier for the Sri Lankan board to convince the 10 players who didn't come for this tour?
I didn't hear the last bit. What did you say?
Given that you are satisfied with the security being provided to you all, I wanted to ask you, would it be easier for the Sri Lankan cricket board to convince those 10 players to come here for the test series if this tour goes well?
Yeah, I think this will be just a precursor for that tour. I'm sure this will certainly encourage the others to sort of take decisions. We can't enforce it on them, and they've taken decisions, we have to respect that. But certainly, as you said, if things go well, this is a huge thing for the future, for not only for them, for all countries to be here.
Rumesh, considering the amount of rain we had in the city for the last 4 or 5 days, how difficult it has been to motivate your boys, considering there's no play and no practice session? So do you think that the amount of practice that you have got today would be adequate enough for your boys to do their best?
Yeah, well, it has been raining and it has been humid today. Saying that even before we came here, the preparations were hampered by rain. It's raining. It seems as if it's raining in the whole world. So it's been raining there. We had only a day's training outside, and day before we had previous to day before we had one here, and today was one. So the prep hasn't been all that good, but that's not going to be an excuse which I will give, because they are professional players. Even though there aren't 10 players who haven't been here, the people who have taken the place of theirs are aware that they are being challenged to do well. It's for their futures also. So hope things will be okay and there won't be any rain.
How do you motivate them?
There are various ways of motivating them. One is a challenge, and one is talking about the Pakistan team being the giants, the Goliaths, and we are not being the giants, and that's sort of the way in which we will motivate ourselves, and knowing that they are professionals, we are professionals, and we take it as on the same page.
Today we saw a very intense training session. What were the areas of Hello.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
So we saw a very intense session today. What were the areas of focus, and do you know what your playing 11 will be tomorrow? Not asking you to reveal it, but do you know what is going to be your playing 11 tomorrow?
Yeah, we sort of know what the playing 11 is, and as I said, the challenge today was the heat. Suddenly, from the rain, you come to the heat. But the focus was, for the batsmen, was to know what they are going to face, and sort of to do that match simulated things which we discussed at training, and whatever they wanted to try, they should be trying. As well as for the bowlers, we sort of put a picture on a name, a Pakistani name on one of our players. So that was simulated like that. So if it was a left-hander, it was Fakir, or it was someone else who was a right-hander, like that. It was simulated like that, and various other small intricacies which we did.
You have been there for almost
Oh right, okay, sorry.
You have been there for almost 3 to 5 days. Do you assess the condition, and you have a long training session, and do you think that this young Sri Lankan team can beat Pakistan at home?
Well, as a coach and as players, that's our challenge. In the World Cup, nobody gave us any hope of beating England, and that's one of the things which we would sort of take for this match also. And we were number 9 at that stage, and England was top of the range, and they eventually won the World Cup. So it's a similar situation, and as I said earlier, well, we are encouraged and we are playing to win. We are playing to win.
Hi Rumesh, I wanted to ask, you just said that you don't really consider yourself as the Giants, the home team is. So are there going to be any real surprises for Pakistan? Are there any players who you are expecting to emerge like as revelations during this tour?
Well, a good question, but it's generalized to the whole lot. It's not only for one player. I don't think. Well, why we are saying we are not giants is we are -10, 9 or 10. So otherwise we would be on a similar page. We are not. I expect everybody to come out with the X factor. What I sort of motivated them was to say that everybody has the X factor, and that's why they are here. And that's why anybody plays at the top level, because they have the X factor. I mean, people like Malinga and others, they bring out the X factor more often than not. So who knows, on that particular day when they bring out the X factor, that's what I need as a coach, what we need as a team, what we need as a country.
Hi coach. In white ball cricket, Sri Lankan team is struggling. Your World Cup show was not good. And what do you think? The match fixing or fixing scandals hurting the Sri Lankan cricket, like Sri Lankan league is facing ban by ICC, Jayasuriya, and a lot of players facing the bans. Do you think?
Sorry, say it again. No, you said something at the start. I missed out. You were saying something. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm saying in white ball, Sri Lankan in white ball cricket, Sri Lankan struggling. They didn't perform well in World Cup. Do you think they connect with the match fixing, like Sri Lankan league or Sri Lankan players like Jayasuriya and the former players are facing ban by ICC because of fixing issues? Do you think it's hurting Sri Lankan cricket?
It's what? It's hurting.
It's damaging or hurting?
Well, I don't know what ICC has done with those former players. It's not my concern. If they have taken them to task, they have taken them to task. Well, at the moment, we don't think we have issues like that. I think it's all dealt with. The board was aware of things what has happened in the past. The boys are educated on that all the time, like would be any team, like maybe Pakistan and the subcontinent. Well, all teams would be, and I think that's dealt with. But it's reminded of all the time, and it hasn't hurt us because I don't think any player is involved with that.
Hi Ramesh, here on the left side. I just want to ask that you said that you have some new faces on the side, and immediately at this situation, how difficult it will be for you to gel in with some new faces, some new players in the new conditions and against a home side which is looking so strong on pitch?
I think it's a similar question like the first one. I think it is challenging. It's very challenging. When you put it on paper, it's even more challenging. So those are the challenges which we are expecting. But we have come to play, we have come to win. And it's not in a braggish way, but we have come to compete. And at the end of the day, we would like to, well, what we discussed was winning. And we are planning to win. So whether the outcomes will be different, I don't know. Well, God only knows that.
Ramesh, as a player, you played your last test series here in Pakistan. Now you are back as a head coach. How it feels?
Well, I'm very privileged to be here. Well, I was privileged as a player to be here, and I've enjoyed all the tours here. Well, got on very well with the players in the past. I mean, very big names, who's even leading your country now, and very privileged to be here.
So thank you. You are a fast bowler. In nowadays, Pakistan have a fast bowler, Prime Minister Imran Khan. Do you have some statement for him?
Do I have what?
Some statements or good words for him?
Well, he's been very encouraging. The time I was playing, he had me in his room for 45 minutes. I really appreciate that. That's one of the things which I really appreciate most. And well, he's been a great friend of Sri Lanka. He's been a great friend of ours, and I think he's leading you well too. So, well done.
Rumesh, there is a general impression that this Sri Lankan team is underestimated. You got a lot of talented players in your side, 6 of them leading the World Cup. Can you describe that? Gives you an advantage, and moreover, can you give your firepower? You got the Chinaman bowler, you got the leg spin bowler, and you got the good batsman. Can you give about your firepower and the young players?
That's the hardest question so far. Yeah. Well, we've got a Chinaman bowler, we've got a leg spinner, we've got a leg spinner who's coming out well in Manindo Hasiranga. We've got fast bowlers. There's no Malinga, but I'm just talking about the others. There's Isarudana, there's Lairu Kumara, who's a youngster who's bowling extremely fast in our terms. There's Kasun Rajita. So there are a few guys who are there who still to prove themselves at the international level. So what we said was this is their chance, isn't it? This is their chance, and hopefully they'll take it with both hands and do well. So batsmen, there are a few. There's Tirimana there, and there's a few guys who can come and upset the apple cart, so to speak. But let's see how it goes.
It has been raining, Karachi, but have you visited any place here or tried some local food?
Have I visited any place?
Here in Karachi or tried some local food? What do you like the most?
Well, I love Pakistani food. It's just that we are unable to do that. We respect the security things of that, and we are provided security which I have never seen even on TV. Somebody has been like that, provided like that. And well, they say only to prime ministers and to presidents they do provide like that, but I don't know whether even in Sri Lanka they will provide security like that. Well, other countries I wouldn't know, but we are protected really well, and I understand there's no 100% thing to say, but well, they are doing their best to have us inside. We have to respect that and be inside.
Yeah, Ramesh, Friday when you came over here for playing the first match, your guy, Danushka, was having the fever. How is doing right now? He had a throat problem and the fever, you know. And second question is that definitely Lord's Street was great tragedy, and that time we lost 6 lives. How do you like to say about that?
About 2009.
How do you like to tribute them?
Well, I understand. Well, I was not here. I was, I think, in China or someplace. When I heard that, I was shocked, and I couldn't believe it happened. And well, I'm very sorry for the loss of life. I'm sorry for the loss of life what happened even in Sri Lanka. And but saying that, I don't think we can blame anybody for that. I mean, we have to all be educated in a sense of knowing we have to respect human life, and that's the most important thing in life. So I really feel sorry for the families, and I think of the players, our players who sort of went through that, because it was quite traumatic also. And it's something which I cannot sort of fathom out.
What happened to Bonath?
It's okay. It's okay now. Yeah, he's all right.
Last question in English.
What would be your message to other boards, and how is your experience so far in Pakistan?
Oh, well, we are looked after very well. But I cannot, well, they have to come and experience it, isn't it? But I can say to our board, I can say, well, my experience is the security is immense. It's really fantastic. Those guys are really top-notch guys, and well, I think we have to wait through when everything is finished. That's when everybody can talk about it and take decisions. Yeah.
Rumesh, පළවෙනි තරංගයේ වර්ෂාවෙන් බාධා එල්ල වුණා. මේ තරංගයට එද්දී කාලගුණේ අනිත් පැත්තට, ඒ කියන්නේ අවුවෙන් දැඩි පීඩාවක් ගෙන දෙනවා ශ්‍රී ලංකා කණ්ඩායමට. මේ තත්ත්වයට කොහොමද පුහුණුවීම් සහ කොහොමද ප්‍රෙපරේෂන්ස්?
මම හිතන්නේ අවුවෙන් අපිට කිසි වරදක් නැහැ. අර එකපාරටම අර අතනින් මෙතනට වෙනසයි ඒක අමාරුනේ. We ලංකාවෙත් වැස්සනේ. ඉතින් ඒක නිසා අපි අවුවට ගියේ නැහැ හුඟක් කාලයකට. ඉතින් ඒ නිසාම තමයි අපිට ටිකක් අද අමාරු වගේ තේරුනේ. නැත්තම් කාලගුණේ ඒ හා සමානයි. ඉතින් මම හිතනවා ඒක එච්චරම චැලෙන්ජ් එකක් නෙවෙයි. එන challenge එක වෙන්නේ හෙට match එක ගහලා කොහොමද අපි 11 එක compete කරන්න කියලා අර ඊයේ මම කිව්වා වගේම.
කණ්ඩායමේ සංයුතිය මොන වගේ වේවිද? team combination එක මොන වගේ?
combination එක අපි wicket එක බලලා එතකොට අපි ඒක තෝරන්නේ. මම හිතනවා මේක හොඳ batting wicket එකක් වෙයි කියලා එහෙමයි අපිට තේරෙන්නේ. ඉතින් අපි බලමු ඉස්සරහට යද්දී හෙට වෙද්දී අපි හිතාගෙන ඉන්නේ ටීම් එක ඒක නිසාම අරන් එන්න ඒ විදිහට.
විශේෂයෙන්ම මේ තරඟාවලියට එන්න කලින් ආරක්ෂාව සම්බන්ධයෙන් පාකිස්තානයේ බොහෝ මත තිබුණා. මේ වෙනකොට කණ්ඩායම විදියට මේ තත්ත්වය අමතක කරලා ක්‍රිකට් ක්‍රීඩාව වෙනුවෙන් යෙදෙන්න පුළුවන් මානසිකත්වයක් ලැබිලා තියෙනවා කොහොමද තත්ත්වය?
අහන්නේ මොකද්ද අපි කළා තින්නේ එකෙන් අයින් වෙන්න එහෙමද? ඔව් අපි හිතාන් හිටියා දැන් කතා නොකර ඉන්න එක. උන දේවල් උනා ඒක ඉවරයි. ඉතින් අපි දැන් ආවේ සංචාරයකට ආවේ මෙහෙ මැච් ගහන්න ආවේ. ඉතින් අපි කතා කරන්නේ ඒක ගැන විතරයි. ඉතින් අපි හැම එක්කිනාට මේක කිව්වා හැම එක්කිනාම මේක මේ හොඳට රෙස්පෙක්ට් කරනවා. ඉතින් මම දවස් 4ක් විතරදී ඒක කියලා ඒක දැන් වෙනවා. ඔය මැනේජර්ත් ඒක කිව්වා ඒකලන්ට.
Thank you Rumesh, thank you.
You can ask it.